roll the dice. If you're gonna try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're gonna try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way. Could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It could mean derision. It could mean mockery, isolation. Isolation is a gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds. And it will be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There's no other feeling like that. You'll be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Do it, do it, do it. All the way, all the way. You will ride life to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is.
Boys, you must strive to find your own voice. Because the longer you wait to begin, the less likely you are to find it at all. Thoreau said most men lead lives of quiet desperation. Don't be resigned to that. Break out.
I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love.
Your life is your life. Don't let it be clubbed into dank submission. Beyond the watch, there are ways out. There is a light somewhere. It may not be much light, but it beats the darkness. Beyond the watch, the gods will offer you chances. Know them. Take them. You can't beat death, but you can beat death in life, sometimes. And the more often you learn to do it, the more light there will be. Your life is your life. Know it while you have it. You are marvelous. The gods wait to delight in you.
I said, empty your mind, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. I do not look upon myself as a star. I really don't. I mean, believe me, man, when I say, you know what I want to think of myself? As a human being. Because, I mean, I don't want to sound like, as Confucius say, but under the sky, under the heaven, man, there is but one family. It just so happened, man, that people are different. So therefore, they are coming in to and ask me to teach them not so much of how to defend themselves or how to do somebody in. Rather, they want to learn to express themselves through some movement, be it anger, be it determination, or whatsoever.
Don't think, feel. It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory.
All type of knowledge ultimately means self-knowledge. Ultimately, martial art means honestly expressing yourself. Now, it is very difficult to do. I mean, it is easy for me to put on a show and be cocky and be flooded with a cocky feeling and then feel like pretty cool and all that. Or I can make all kinds of phony things, you see what I mean? But to express oneself honestly, not lying to oneself, and to express myself honestly, that, my friend, is very hard to do. If you honestly express yourself, it doesn't matter. It will bring more understanding. More things that are, hey, like different, you know? And maybe in the contrast of comparison, some new thing might grow. It's not difficult to learn and speak the word. The hard thing, the difficult thing, it's behind what is the meaning, what brought on the expression and feelings behind those words. The successful ingredient in it was because I was being Bruce Lee.
Yourself.
Myself, right. And did that part, just express myself, like I say, honestly express myself.
I keep my eyes on the prize.
You want to be always pushing beyond what you're comfortable with.
Don't wait to be asked, because nobody's going to ask you. And don't wait for the perfect conditions, because they'll never be perfect.
Did nobody get in there and put the gloves on for me? Did nobody go out there on that road and run miles and miles for me? Nobody took the broken ribs. Nobody took the bloody nose. I did it all. I dedicated myself to my craft, and I bust my ass. It's never personal for me. It's always business.
And you just have to take the plunge.
I never overlook no opponent. I train for every fighter the same way. I push myself. I believe in my skills and I believe in my talent.
There's always a way if you're committed. Just got to keep changing your approach.
You got fighters that may be faster than me. You got fighters that may hit harder than me. But you don't have no fighter that can make adjustments like me. You don't have fighters that can be on my level mentally. It's never personal for me. It's always business. You get to where you're trying to get to by staying focused, staying on a parallel path. My thing is this, I keep my eyes on the prize. I never focus on things outside the ring. My focus is the guy that's in front of me. I always had a dream, and my dream was to be the best. No matter what happens.
When it comes down to boxing, I'm the best at this.
Right now, do you believe you're the best in the world?
I feel I'm the best ever.
The separation of talent and skill is one of the greatest misunderstood concepts for people who are trying to excel, who have dreams that want to do things. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft.
People that are hungry are unstoppable, Mr. Brown. People that are hungry, no excuse is acceptable. Go out and face the music, young man. And don't forget, stay hungry. Are you willing to keep working on? Are you willing to realize that you have not done your best stuff yet, but you can better your best?
Give everything you got to me, not because of the Super Bowl.
The only thing that I see that is distinctly different about me is I'm not afraid to die on a treadmill. You might have more talent than me, you might be smarter than me. There's two things. You're getting off first, or I'm gonna die. It's really that simple.
It's about winning one-on-one battles. Fight through fight.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. And that's what you have here tonight, boys. That's what you earned here tonight. One game. If we played them 10 times, they might win 9. Not this game. Not tonight. Tonight, we stay with them. And we shut them down because we can.
It's one game that happens once a day somewhere around the world where it's the game. It's the game that nobody but you think you can win. It's one game around the world, and somehow it blessed us, and it's here. It's here. Because don't nobody but the people in this locker room think we got a fucking chance to bust their ass. My heart been pumping, my body been getting hot. I thought I was nervous. I said, damn, man, I felt it twice before the game. I was nervous. Yeah, I look around, I see some people faces got the same as mine. I said, oh, man, they can't be nervous. Ain't no way they're nervous. scared. I ain't nervous. My heart slowed down a little bit. I ain't nervous no more. I'm like, all right, I'm good. Come back. You come back. I'm like, damn, what is this feeling? I'm like, am I scared? I look around like, oh, he got the same face I got. He can't be scared. He ain't scared. I ain't scared. What's this feeling? I look around. It's adrenaline. I'm ready for this game. I'm not gonna let you come in my house, in my room,
It's our time. Ain't no time now to worry about what the outcome is. Don't look at the scoreboard. One play at a time. From the first play to the last play. Give it to me. One time. First play to last play. Don't get what's yours. You determine what happens to you. You control your outcome. You control what happens to us. We do. Nobody else in the country can say that every evening. We always do.
There is no fear. There is no timidity. You're a bunch of lions. You're a bunch of lions chasing the lion into the lion's pit. And we're crawling out, bloodied and whatever it takes, man. Just one play at a time, all right? That's visualization or whatever. Just go play one play at a time like it's your last play. This is what you were meant to do. This is what you worked for your whole life, right? Let's go out and do it, man.
You out hit them, you out hustle them, you out work them, you out compete them. Out hit hustle, out hit them, out hustle them, out compete them. Then everything else will fall into place. Everybody holds on to that rope. You hold this team tight, you hold that rope tight. If somebody starts to slip off, you hold that goddamn off till your fingers start to bleed.
Forget about the crowds, the size of the school, their fancy uniforms, and remember what got you here. Focus on the fundamentals we've gone over time and time again. And most important, don't get caught up thinking about winning or losing this game. If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential, to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners. Okay?
It's about flesh and blood. It's about a heartbeat that beats strong. It's about a passion that is unyielding. And I want you men to know today is your hour. It is your time. It is your moment. Go take it. Go do what you've been prepared to do. In the words of my middle school coach here, don't fight. You can't fight no more. You can't fight no more. Go lie down and bleed a while. We gonna get up. Fight some more. Don't you say it with me, repeat it after me when I say it. We gonna fight? We gonna fight. You can't fight no more. You can't fight no more. Go lie down. Go lie down. Bleed a while. Bleed a while. Don't get up. Don't get up. Fight some more. Fight some more.
Champions know what fucking happens here. Switch on, switch off. Switch on, switch off. Fuck the outside, the exterior conditions. It all happens internally, and they know that inside the fucking mind. You give me a guy who fucking got that right, he will kick the fucking crap out of the guy who's in the fucking gym 6 or 7 hours a day, carrying his fucking cooler, 3 or 4 personal fucking trainers, all the functional training equipment and everything else. Give me the guy who's got it fucking here. All the great, incredible athletes, they don't stand in the mirror and say, my work is done. They say the work begins tomorrow anew with new knowledge. I start all over again. That's why they're fucking champions. That's why they're champions.
I can see it in entire preparation, man. The power of preparation. It lets you see and react. Now, trust tonight. It's going to be important. Trust the coach. Trust the guy beside you. Trust your eyes and trust yourself. See it, make it. See a little, see a lot. See a lot, see nothing. Discipline. Look at what you're supposed to look at. Don't try to be the hero. Heroes are guys that do their job consistently every day. Do the right thing over and over, and you beat them with consistency. Over and over and over. Know what you got to do, but you understand it's going to be physical, man. It's got to be physical. It's got to be nasty. Understand something, guys. Nothing worth ever having in this world comes easy. Nothing's going to come easy tonight. Understand that from the first play to the last play. This team's going to play your tail off. That's good, because we're going to play their tail off. That's what it's about. The things you remember in life are the things that are hard to get. Like what you've been able to persevere through, push through, overcome to be where you're at right now. It's a special group of guys sitting in this room. It's an elite group of guys. They're doing things that may never be done again. But understand something, every time you go out, you got to prove your stripes. Score of every game when you start, 0-0. You don't get to carry no points over, you don't get to carry anything over. You got to start, you got to finish. But here's the great thing. You control what happens to you. The greatest thing in life you guys got to understand, you control the outcomes of everything that happens to you. By the decisions you make, the preparation, and your actions. In the field, off the field. That's what this is about. You controlling what happens to you. It's in our hands. What we do, how we do it, the way we do it. Now you just got to execute and do it. That's going to take three things now, guys. You got to have great emotion in this game. You got to have great togetherness in this game. But at the same time, you got to be able to think and function. The man can keep it high, can process the information, make great decisions in the game. Don't be selfish. Don't let your pride override anything with your team. Make smart decisions in the game. You play physical, you play violent, but you play clean. You play penalty-free. You tackle, you hit on the rise, step on the toes.
My mind start making up excuses why I can get away with not doing it. As soon as that starts to happen in your mind, you need to scream out, fuck you. Fuck you. You say to yourself, you're going to tell me, you're going to try to talk me out of doing what I know is good for me, makes me a more powerful human being, that means something to the quality of my life? You're going to try to talk me out of it? Fuck you! This is how I'm going to punish you.
Because in life, that's what it's about. Holding on, lifting as we climb. So tonight, we lift as we climb. We hold on to the rope. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let me hear it.
The native son of Dublin, Ireland, here's the CWC reigning featherweight champion of the world.
I still envision 2 and possibly 3 belts on my shoulder.
The notorious Conor McGregor!
Living my dream. I'm living my dreams. I set out to do something and I'm doing it.
The last time you were actually a fan in this building was UFC 93.
I was sitting right over there.
You were just a fan?
Yeah, I was just a fan. When I sat here in this crowd, UFC 93, and saw all these guys, I realized it's there. It's there for the taking if I put the time in. And I don't listen to no one else. I don't hear about nothing else. I don't want to hear about nothing else. I still envision 2 and possibly 3 belts. If you can see it here and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. A lot of times people believe in certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. If you truly believe in it, if you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction and it will become reality. I still envision 2 and possibly 3 belts on my shoulder.
I just said it out straight, beg me. And they beg me. Look at everybody up here. They're all dressed like me. They're all trying to talk like me. They're all trying to be me. Everyone in the game wants this fight. This is the lottery fight.
I realize like that this is attainable.
I'm gonna wrap one on one shoulder. I'm gonna wrap the other on the other shoulder.
It's a beautiful feeling when preparation meets opportunity. When I was a kid, I used to always visualize stadiums, raising my hand and visualizing an arena full of fans. And that was something I'd done as a kid out on my own. But most certainly, I'm looking to replicate what I have achieved in my previous promotion, a 2-weight world champion, held consecutively. I said I would do it, and I will do it.
Sooner or later he's gonna fall. One of those elbows, one of those shots are gonna dig into that soft, sweet spot into the temple, and that's all she wrote. Two-weight world champion, UFC history, New York, the Irish are back.
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody what I dreamed into reality. Oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks lovely.
It feels familiar. I saw it so clearly. I swear to God, I saw it so clearly, so consistently, until it's here in reality. So I've been saying this a long time, and I back it up. I back it up with work ethic. I back it up with hours upon hours of time and dedication. I never slip. I never take a second off this game.
My dream is to be world champion, world lightweight champion in the UFC, have more money than I know what to do with, and have a great life for my kids, my grandkids, everyone in my family, everyone that's come up with me. That's my dream. My dream is to be #1, pretty much. My goal is #1 MMA.
Listen, thanks everyone for coming out.
Nothing is impossible, you know what I mean? You can achieve anything.
There's a reason why we're at the top of the game. Because of me and because of you. And I appreciate every single one of you.
When things are going good and you visualize these good things happening, you visualize more good things happening, that's easy. What's not easy to do is when things are going bad and you're visualizing the good stuff.
He said, when life can no longer threaten you with death, he said, what else is there? What else is there? And the majority of the fears that we have are not life or death fears. They're not those kind of fears. But through our imagination, we blow them out of proportion and we give them more power than they actually have or deserve, and we permit them to govern our lives. We permit them to determine how far we can stretch out on our dreams and discovering our stuff. And as we begin to look at ourselves and begin to, wait a minute, just getting to the point as you assess yourself and begin to prove yourself and just say, wait, hold a minute. I've been sweating this out. What's the worst thing that can happen to me on this? Will it kill me? Will I die? Why am I going through all of these changes over this? How much power does this really have? And am I the one that's feeding the power into it? You can either live your dreams or live your fears. And I think the majority of people actually are not living their dreams, but are living their fears. So I want to ask you a question. What are your fears? What are you afraid of? What are you scared of? Because we all have fears, don't we? We all have something that's blocking us, that's holding us back. And as we begin to look at life, what we realize is that the reason that most people are not living out their true potential, are not doing all of the things that they would really like to do, is because of fear. What are the things that you fear that's been keeping you from living your dream? That's been keeping you from doing some things that you would like to do? Just think about those things. And how do we begin to handle that? Abraham Maslow said that life is about growth. And he said, you can either go back to your comfort zone, and there you won't find any growth, or you must be willing to go forward and face your fears again and again and again. Because you're never going to have a fear-free existence. I mean, some fear is acceptable and legitimate. There are some things that you really should be afraid of. Now, you shouldn't allow it to immobilize you. You acknowledge it, you take it into account, and you carry yourself accordingly. There are times that we should proceed with caution. But it's the difference between being stopped by fear. It's the difference between having a fear and the fear having you. So deciding as you look at your life, as you look into the future and say, what fears am I holding on to? What fears that I'm allowing to imprison me, that's keeping me from breaking out, that's keeping me from living up to my true potential, that's keeping me from really being happy, that's keeping me from having a sense of adventure and excitement in my life? What's keeping me from controlling my destiny? What fears that I'm giving that permission to? Notice what I said, that we must give our permission to fear to immobilize us. Because whatever discomfort you experience, whatever challenges or difficulty that it is, you got to handle it. You got to go up in there and wrestle with it. Will it be easy? No. Will it be challenging? Yes. A friend of mine who's going into recovery. He's been addicted to crack cocaine for years and alcohol. And he was talking about how challenging it was and why he was dreading going into cold turkey. I said, what do you want me to tell you? That it's going to be a picnic? No, it's not. It's going to kick your butt? Yes, it is. Are you going to want to die? Yes, that's a part of it. But that's just what you must go through in order to get where you want to go. And guess what? You are strong enough to do it. You're strong enough, and your life is worth whatever you have to go through to get past this addiction. Whatever you have to do. This dream you got, whatever you want to do, will it be easy to just run out there and do it? No. Will it happen overnight? No. Will it be a struggle? Yes. Will there be times when you can't make ends meet? Yes, that's a part of it. Will there be times you won't know what to do? Yes, that's a part of it. See, when you are not filling your life with the things that you are capable of doing, see, we all have some stuff that we've been given. And I don't think that it's optional for us to sit on what we have. See, if you're sitting on what you have, what you've been given, and I think everybody's been given something to bring to the planet, that only you can do that, only you can perform that, only you can initiate that activity. And if you don't do that, if you're not filling in your life with your life work or your mission, then there are gaps in your life. And what we do when we're not living out our true identity, we begin to fill the gaps. We fill the holes with garbage. Alcohol, drugs, worry, self-destructive behavior. So when you begin to look at your life and you know that you're not doing what you can do because you have allowed yourself to be held captive by your fears. Now, when you don't have a true appreciation and acceptance for who you are, and you allow yourself to be immobilized by fear, what happens in the process is that you begin to abuse yourself. You begin to sabotage your life, you begin to sabotage your dreams, you begin to unconsciously work against yourself. You become your own worst enemy. So what do you do about that? Well, you begin to realize that your dream and your gifts have so much meaning and so much value for you till your hunger for them will begin to push you past the fear. Your hunger to have them will give you a special drive. As you work on yourself, as you begin to acknowledge your true identity, the true power that you have, the true capacity you have to bring about change, the miracle-working power that you have within yourself to do the things that you want to do. But there's some people, because of their personality, because of their contribution, because of the investment of their time and their energy and the impact they have there, that when they go, everybody will miss them. See, when Mother Teresa checks out, everybody will know. When Rosa Parks, everybody will know. Nelson Mandela, everybody will know. Why? Because of their contribution. See, but there's some people, because their contribution is so small, no one will care. So I'm saying, before you are boxed and buried, decide that you're going to box and bury your fears. Decide that you're going to begin to live life on a new level, seeking out new horizons, that you're going to find more love and more joy and more ways to give more to life. We go through life really blocking ourselves constantly, and fear is one of the greatest instruments that we could use to stifle our true potential. When you begin to look at your life, you can decide to use fear as a blocker, or you can decide to use it as building blocks. But you decide, hey, look here, I'm going to move in this direction. I'm not going to allow anything to stop me from doing what I want to do. Now, life is too short for that. Too short and unpredictable, moseying through. Not trying to disturb anything, not trying to shake anything up, not trying to make any waves. You see, there are some people who come through the universe, and their level of contribution and the level of energy they manifest is so small, so inconspicuous, that when they go, you won't even know they left. Everything a man does for himself, guess what? He takes with him. But everything he does for others, he leaves behind. So when you begin to say, what is it that I want to leave? What contribution that I want to begin to make? What difference do I want to make in life? What is it that I want to do with the rest of the life that I have left? What chances I need to take? What risks do I need to begin to embrace? What fears do I need to step on? What areas of my life am I dead right now? What dream? You can either live your dreams or live your fears. You have got to get to a point where you say, I'm sick and tired of living like this. There's got to be more. That's when people go out and strike out on their dreams. That's when people get out of relationships where they're dying together rather than growing together. The impulse to dream has been slowly beaten out of me through the experience of life. And most people, ladies and gentlemen, have stopped living their dreams because of the lessons they've learned from life or things they've picked up, because we've only been born with two fears: the fear of a loud sound or the fear of falling. And all the other fears are fears we learn, fears we pick up. Whatever you're scared of, your life, the value you brought to the planet, far more important than whatever you're afraid of. You're stronger. So as we begin to look toward the future and look at what will it take for us to break through those fears, one, acknowledging the fear, knowing it's all right, some fear is healthy. Beginning to know that your dreams, your passions, your drive to achieve whatever it is you want, as it has more power and meaning, it will move you past your fears. As you begin to feel that you deserve it, your passion and goal is so strong, the fears won't matter. As you begin to trust yourself and put yourself in the situation where you have to make it happen, you will make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe this. I know this from my own life experience. I know that you've got greatness within you. I know that you have unlimited potential in you. I know that you have something to give to the universe. I think it was Joe Frazier who said this one. He says, all of us are like the blind man at some point in our lives standing on the corner, waiting for somebody to lead us across. See, all of us at some point in our lives need some help, need someone to reach out to us, to throw out the lifeline, to help us go across some treacherous waters that we couldn't navigate by ourselves. None of us do it by ourselves. All of us at some point in our lives. We need that kind of help. We need that kind of assistance, because we grow from the people we have in our lives that can enrich our lives personally, professionally, spiritually, and all the dimensions of our lives. We don't grow in a vacuum. So as you look at yourself, what are the fears you have that maybe you need some help in strengthening yourself in that area? As you assess your strengths and your weaknesses, as you begin to prove yourself and your passions and your dreams and your goals and the things that you want, if you decide to experience all of your true potential, as you decide to manifest all of your greatness, as you decide, wait a minute, what else is available to me out here if I decided to experience the fear of rejection, the fear of no, the fear of failure, the fear of standing by myself? What else is available? Of taking a chance, a fear of losing it all. What else is available to me that will bring some extra meaning and value? The fear of people not liking me. You know how many people do things they don't want to do because they want everybody to like them? Accept yourself, then you accept the fear as a fact and not a force. See, when you accept yourself and you accept fear as a fact, that means that it's something that happens, it's something that you're going to experience, but it is not a force to hold you back. It doesn't have any special power other than that you give it. So you accept the fact that you are afraid, and then you move on anyhow. You can have fears, but don't surrender. Don't let your fears have you. You're more than capable of making this your decade.
People die every day, Frankie. Mopping floors, washing dishes. You know what their last thought is? I never got my shot. If she dies today, you know what her last thought will be? I think I did all right.
The outer night that covers me black as the pit from pole to pole. I think whatever God there may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of fate, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the shadow of the shade. Yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid.
Someone asked me once, and you're about to do it, what would you do if you weren't an actor, if you didn't make it as an actor? I have no idea. I would act somewhere. Maybe I'd be driving a cab, maybe I'm working in somebody's yard, whatever I'm doing, I will act. Because I'll die if I don't. You do it because you have to do it. If you spend 20 years waiting tables, at night, if you were a writer, you're writing. And it's the same thing with any discipline. Painters paint. I don't care what else they have to do to put food on the table or pay the rent, they're painting. And I think that's the same way all the way around. Writers write, painters paint, actors act.
Matters not how straight the gate, how punishment charged the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
I spent so many years trying to figure out how. I wasted 14 years. See, once you commit yourself, the how will come, the way will come. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. The most difficult thing I've ever done was to believe that I can do what I'm now doing. But imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the dreams given to you by life, the ideas that you never acted on, the talents, the gifts, the abilities that you never used. And there they are, standing around your bed, looking at you with large, angry eyes, saying, "We came to you. And only you could have given us life. And now we must die with you forever." If you died this very moment, what will die with you? What dreams? What ideas? What talents? What leadership potential? What greatness that you showed up to bring? That you allowed fear or procrastination to hold you back? I refuse to die an unlived life. Don't worry about the odds. You want to raise the bar on yourself. Most people won't do that. See, most people engage in low-life living, low-risk living. If you're not willing to risk, you cannot grow. And if you cannot grow, you cannot become your best. And if you cannot become your best, you can't be happy. And if you can't be happy, then what else is there? No, I parked. I didn't have my emergency lights on. I didn't want to show up on the radar. I parked. You know how long I parked? I parked for 10 years. Unless you attempt to do something beyond that which you've already mastered, you will never grow. And so You want to begin to take some chances. You want to begin to challenge yourself and make it okay to fail and learn from your failures. Don't allow fear of failure and the allure, the attractiveness of playing it safe in life to draw you in. You'll discover some things about yourself that you don't know right now. You can't get out of life alive. You got to die to leave here. See, most people stop short of their dreams and park and get off the highway of life because of the rejections of life. You will always be rejected. You must be willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. See, once you commit yourself, the how will come, the way will come.
And this quote is about a young man. He was a young lawyer in New York. He'd married a beautiful girl. And they had a lovely daughter. And then suddenly, she died. And this is what he wrote. This was in his diary. He said, "She was beautiful in face and form, and lovelier still in spirit. As a flower she grew, and as a fair young flower she died. And when my heart's dearest died, the light went from my life forever." He thought the life gone from his life forever, but he went on. It's only a beginning, always. The young must know it, the old must know it, because the greatness comes not when things go always good for you, but the greatness comes and you're really tested. When you take some knocks, some disappointments, when sadness comes. Because only if you've been in the deepest valley can you ever know how magnificent it is to be on the highest mountain. Always give your best. Never get discouraged. Never be petty. Always remember, others may hate you. Those who hate you don't win unless you hate them. And then you destroy yourself.
That a lobster is a soft, mushy animal that lives inside of a rigid shell. That rigid shell does not expand. As the lobster grows, that shell becomes very confining. And the lobster feels itself under pressure and uncomfortable. Casts off the shell and produces a new one. Well, eventually, that shell becomes very uncomfortable as it grows. And the lobster repeats this numerous times. The stimulus for the lobster to be able to grow is that it feels uncomfortable. Now, if lobsters had doctors, they would never grow. Because as soon as the lobster feels uncomfortable, goes to the doctor, gets a Valium, gets a Percocet, feels fine, never gets off its shell. So we have to realize that times of stress are also times that are signals for growth. And if we use adversity properly, we can grow through adversity.
these things happen to you and you think you've been dealt a terrible hand or you've had bad luck, and when you just go with it, you just start improvising, suddenly you realize that you stumble upon some of the best things that have ever happened to you.
He thought the life gone from his life forever, but he went on.
Sometimes, yeah, you've got to cut a little piece of yourself off, yeah, no matter how much it hurts, in order to grow, yeah, in order to move on.
I read some words that I found extremely powerful that I've been carrying with me ever since. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does always actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.
You will have good days and you'll have bad days, but you will always learn something more or something new, and you will learn more overall on bad days than good days.
I'm here to say you will make mistakes along the way. You will fall down. I have, many times. Even Ali did. But what we do after that fall is how we make history, because impossible is nothing. These are words to remember when anyone tries to tell you to give up, tell you to give in, because whatever you're trying to do is impossible. The champ said this: impossible is just a word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in the world they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact. It's an opinion. Impossible is potential. Impossible is temporary. Impossible is nothing.
Muhammad always predicted from a small boy that he would be the world's heavyweight champion. He always said, told the kids in the neighborhood, I'm going to be champ of the world, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
Chicken Soup for the Soul was rejected by 144 publishers. 144 publishers said, we don't want to publish a collection of short stories. Now, have you ever told someone your dream and had them laugh out loud? He laughed out loud. Now, if we had given up after 100 publishers had said no, I wouldn't be standing here today. And so you've got to be willing to persevere. Because we didn't take no. See, when the world says no, you say next.
I think the biggest disability that we have as human beings is unbelief.
So what we have is this endless possibility, but you have to persevere. It's as if the universe tests our commitment. And so today we have 147 titles in print. We sold over 115 million copies. We're in 47 languages.
Everything starts with a vision, and a man without vision dies.
A brass bell that hangs in the center of the compound for all the students to see. All you have to do to quit is ring the bell. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to wake up at 5 o'clock. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to be in the freezing cold swims. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to do the runs, the obstacle course, the PT, and you no longer have to endure the hardships of training. All you have to do is ring the bell to get out. If you want to change the world, don't ever, ever ring the bell.
I have to shut it all out. The noise, it's loud. You have to cancel out the noise and remember that it's your thoughts that matter.
I'm young, I'm handsome, I'm fast, I'm pretty, and can't possibly be beat.
This is my moment for me.
You will learn more about yourself, you'll learn more about relationships, you'll learn about life and principles, and it'll build your character.
So if you're willing to decide what you want, believe it's possible, consciously envision the future, feel the feelings of what it would feel like if you had achieved this goal, you can have anything, and then you take action.
I am the greatest.
Even though I was having these troubles at home, and even though I had no job, no security, you know what I mean, or whatever, didn't know what I was doing. If it didn't happen, it didn't happen, but I still was able to feel like it was. Isn't it like a kid would use his imagination? I was basically just using my imagination.
Some people can see farther than others. We all live in our own world of limitations. Some people can see farther than others.
I have a big vision. I put a lot of effort, a lot of sacrifice in things I do. If I don't do it, it means I don't believe in it. In this, I believe very strong, and I will not give up until I'm top of the world. So that's the way it works. You aim for the top, you don't aim for the second. Second place is the first place among the last ones, and that's not my target.
I try to do it almost every day. This is why I'm in a top level many years. Because I do it extra outside. When I'm 12 years old, most of the people told me, Cristiano, you are a very good talent player, but you are very skinny, very slim. And I put it in my mind, the body we can improve. can improve. You go to gym, dedication and hard work, you can improve. So I've improved myself.
A lot of times people believe in certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. You truly believe in it. If you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction, and it will become reality.
I want you to see yourself doing what you want to do, experiencing what you want to experience it.
Everyone's unique. You know what I mean? You take, like Bruce Lee said, you take from everyone. And you use what is useful and you discard what is not, and you add what is uniquely your own.
Having what you want to have, doing what it is that gives your life some meaning and value.
People who go against the odds, I suppose. You know, people who do stuff that hasn't been done before, and people who do stuff that people say they can't do. That inspires me. Hard workers, people that are chasing their dream no matter what people are saying, no matter what people think.
Is a lot of people just go do what they feel like they should do and live with the status quo and you know, go live by all these rules and hey, this is going to be okay. You know, just go accept your average 9 to 5 rather than striving for something, because the ultimate goal isn't to succeed or fail. The ultimate goal is to give it everything you have for something that's on your heart and a dream, and pursuing that. And if you get to live out your dream every single day, then the result doesn't matter. I can look back 20, 30 years from now and be able to look at this time and say, you know what, I gave everything I had. Dreams are based on something that's in your heart, that are passions, that are something that you want to go try, not on chances.
I've been on the end of many defeats in my life, and I've rose back, so I will not shy away from it. I will not make excuses for it. I will assess it and come back. If you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen.
I'll never lose a fight. It's impossible. Tell him. It's impossible.
Never lost a fight in your life.
Ask any of my fans when was the last time they lost. I'm too fast.
Champion from
I'm the
king.
king. Born the champ. If you like to lose your money, be a fool and bet on Sonny.
Liston will kill him. He'll kill him in the first round. I'll be Liston in 3 rounds. Okay, Liston in about 4. Liston by 2.
2.
Liston in 3. One Liston. One Liston. Second round Liston. Liston in 4.
Saying I'm gonna do something, putting it out there for the world to see, and then going out and doing it. There's no better feeling in the world than that, and it's as easy as that. Say what you're gonna do, and go and do it. I still envision 2 and possibly 3 belts.
I'm gonna go with Eddie Alvarez in the main event.
Eddie? I don't see how Conor can beat a heart like that.
I think Alvarez wins.
I think Eddie has all the tools to get the job done.
The notorious Conor McGregor!
3/4 of a mile, the effort was still barely perceptible. The time was 3 minutes, 0.7 seconds. A 4-minute mile was possible. Somehow, to do it, I had to run the last lap in 59 seconds. I felt that the moment of a lifetime had come. Those last few seconds seemed never-ending. The faint line of the finishing tape stood ahead as a haven of peace after the struggle. I knew I had done it before I even heard the time. I felt as if I was too close to have failed.
And I remember thinking, if I can get through this, it'll may be as hard, but it's impossible for it to be hard. And I've had a lot of hard times since.
He thought the life gone from his life forever, but he went on. When you take some knocks, some disappointments, when sadness comes, because only if you've been in the deepest valley can you ever know how magnificent it is to be on the highest mountain.
Stop living like you have 1,000 years to live. When I say that you have greatness within you, this is no slogan. This is what I know. You can do more than you are now doing. Most people, only 1% are willing to do the work. If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, if neither cold poverty, famish, or cold, sickness or pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, you'll get it. See, we can't control the thoughts that come in our minds, but we can control the thoughts that we dwell on. This is my time. I own my life. I had to start thinking I have the ability to do this, and I had the mindset that I'm unstoppable. There's something in you that can transcend your circumstances, that can transcend the no's and rejections, that can transcend anything that you're going through. And so what we have to do is every day distract ourselves from the negative thoughts that's in our mind. I'm going to control my own destiny. I'm going to determine what I want to do, what I want out of life. And I'm willing to do what's required to make it become a reality. We've got to be hungry. People that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. People that are hungry are disciplined. People that are hungry are focused. People that are hungry are relentless. Most people just trying to survive. Most people, when they die, they leave liabilities rather than build a legacy.
You have to do that sometimes. You have to say no to your friends to say yes to your work. Because what are you gonna do? Like, lose that idea because you decided to have a drink with your friends? Like, it's not worth it. Your friend will be there. The alternative is you go through life and you had this great idea and nothing came of it because you got tired. And yeah, sometimes you don't go to the party that all your friends are at because the idea is calling to you in that moment.
You should seek failures. See, if you're playing it safe, you're not going to win. It's by trying things that you figure out how far you can go. You got to get outside the box.
Success was the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Anyone that has a goal and they're moving towards it, they're successful.
They're scared. They're scared of complications. They're scared of failure. Failure is a big one that people are afraid of, but failure is one of the most important things you could ever have as far as the motivation to do things differently.
To live a great life, you must be prepared to fail, sure, and to die maybe as well.
tomorrow's not promised. I gotta get as much done as I can.
Freedom is available to everyone. There isn't anyone that cannot live the way they want to live. See? Why don't they? Why don't they? They don't know. And they don't even know they don't know.
We get so caught up in the day-to-day of living that it's, how many of us really experience life while we're living it?
Do what you want to do with your life, right? Don't go be doing something you don't enjoy. Don't do something don't get locked into, a car that you can't afford and doing something crazy because you need the money. Don't do that. Do what you want to do. Do what the f is it that you really want to do? Because if someone else is doing it, you can do it, I mean, everybody makes their own path through this world, but a lot of people don't follow the path that they really feel pulled to. Everyone encounters difficulties. There is no easy road. It does not exist. It is impossible. Everyone has issues. Trust me, everybody has a hard road. We all go through hard times. We all go through depression. We all go through doubt. That is what makes you a person. And those difficult moments are what build your character. Sometimes you just got to get up and get shit done. There's sometimes where you have to pull yourself up and you have to push forward even if you want to stay in bed.
Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith.
I wish there was no suffering. And it just comes with the job. Some of the greatest work comes from pain, or some great work comes from love, from loss. It's like wanting to be the best at whatever you do. Never stop until you're the best. Like, I don't believe in doing anything halfway. I believe in going all the way. So, you never stop.
When you see hard times and you get knocked down, get back up. And if you keep putting everything you got into it and you keep getting back up when you get knocked down, it's almost impossible to fail. Push until it hurts, or you want to be always pushing beyond what you're comfortable with, and you're sweating just a little bit all the time. And when that happens, when you're constantly pushing beyond what you think, what you know is possible, you're always sweating a little bit, and you're always a little bit nervous. But that is the drug. And so when you're pushing like that and you're never really relaxed, then it always feels small.
anything you want, good, you can have. So claim it. Work hard to get it. When you get it, reach back. Hold someone else up. Aspire to make a difference.
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. Les Brown's a motivational speaker. He made an analogy about this. He says, imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes?
Can't live my life based upon what other people think about me. So I can't concern myself too much with what other people think. You know, it's just not healthy. I don't think I could continue to do what I do if I was constantly worrying about what somebody thought about it.
If you're going to be good at something, it does take a while. Just enjoy the getting there. You're going to get fed up, you're going to get disheartened, and people are going to tell you you're useless. Had all that. But what I can say, after about 15 or 20 years, I learned how to do something well, and I enjoyed that getting there as much as being there.
Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Fall forward. This is what I mean. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs.
First pitch, right in his wheelhouse, as Don Siegel would say. Reggie Jackson now well on his way to becoming the most valuable player in the 1977 World Series.
As the pitching skills get better and better, that hitter needs to be able to adapt and adjust.
The best thing that ever happened to me, the best thing that ever happened to me is I hit rock bottom. By far the best thing that ever happened to me is hitting rock bottom. I think for men, I have two boys and I'm gonna be in pain when I witness these guys go through this. But I think the best thing that can happen to a man is a heartbreak, a very strong heartbreak, and a very big failure early on in business. And it happened to me early on in life, both heartbreak and business. It happened early on because I thought I knew it all. And it was a slap in the face to say, if Socrates says, the only thing I know is that I know nothing, if the greatest minds on their deathbed are saying things like that, what makes you and I think we know everything?
If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith. I want to fall forward. He said, but imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost of the ideas, the dreams, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, and that you, for whatever reason, you never acted on those ideas. You never pursued that dream. You never used those talents. We never saw your leadership. You never used your voice. You never wrote that book. And there they are standing around your bed looking at you with large angry eyes saying, we came to you and only you could have given us life. And now we must die with you forever.
So it's not how much you have, it's what you do with what you have. And we all have different gifts. Some money, some love, some patience, some the ability to touch people. But we all have it. Use it. Share it. That's what counts.
And the question is, if you died today, what ideas? What dreams? What abilities? What talents? What gifts will die with you?
Ask the question when you're thinking big. Why not you? And answer it. I'm not just doing this motivational video. Why not you? Why shouldn't you win? No, forget motivational. Let's get logical. Why not you? Actually answer that. Why can't you be somebody that can do something in your business that's never been done before? Why not you? Answer it. So give the argument. Logically, here's why not me. Because I don't work hard enough. You can fix that. Stop being lazy. Well, whatever, but because I'm not that good in sales. You can learn sales. So, okay, because I don't know much about the product. You can learn the product, but why not you? Because no one in my family's been rich. So what? No one was rich in Zuckerberg's family before he became who he is today, and nobody was in Jobs. Jobs' mom even gave him up for adoption.
So many things go wrong when you're starting a company, and often I think people ask, what mistakes should you avoid making? And my answer to that question is don't even bother trying to avoid mistakes, because you're going to make tons of mistakes, right? And the important thing is actually learning quickly from whatever mistakes you make and not giving up.
Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love.
I mean, there are things every single year of Facebook's existence that could have killed us or made it so that it just seemed like moving forward and making a lot of progress just seemed intractable. But you just kind of bounce back and you learn. And nothing is impossible. You just have to kind of keep running through the walls.
So why not you? Make the argument. Why not you? Truly get into it. Then give the other argument. Why not you actually doing this? Why shouldn't you be the person? And say, I'm a very smart person. I love people. I actually like to make money to make a difference in the world. And you know what? I care for people. And I have some things I want to do. If I get money in my pocket, it'll be good. I'll do good with it. And I got a big heart, and I am talented, and and I know the right people. Boom! That's why not you.
4 years after starting, SpaceX rolled out its first rocket, an unmanned booster called the Falcon 1.
Falcon has cleared the tower.
But the first 3 test flights failed to reach orbit.
When you had that third failure in a row, did you think, I need to pack this in?
Never.
Why not?
I don't ever give up. I mean, I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated.
Who convinced you can't do it? Who convinced you can't be part of a group of people? I watch so many guys on YouTube that, you know, are even some of these guys are considered experts by big magazines and they've written New York Times bestsellers, and they say some shit like, oh, you know, entrepreneurs are born. Give me a damn break. Entrepreneurship can be taught. Entrepreneurship is an inspiration that comes from here for some people that want to solve a bigger problem. What do you mean entrepreneurship is something you're born with? I completely disagree with that statement. Fully disagree with that statement.
If you want to do anything worthwhile in life, you've got to be hungry. And so I started working to develop myself. He said, I want you to practice every day being a disc jockey. I said, but I don't have any job now. He said, it doesn't matter. He said that it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. So every day I was working to develop myself. And that's what you must do.
Entrepreneurship, it is a formula. If you hang around other people that think like this and you watch this video and you watch all of Valuetainment or some of the people that are feeding the right type of content to you and the right books you read, your imagination won't stop working. Because the entrepreneur is numbers, solving problems. How can I do it better, faster? Why can't you learn those skill sets? Why can't you? You can. So why not you? And don't let anybody convince you that people who solve some big problems and, you know, are big thinkers, they have to be born being big thinkers. I'm here to tell you, you can figure out the formula to thinking bigger.
Greatness is not this wonderful, esoteric, elusive, God-like feature that only the special among us will ever taste. You know, it's something that truly exists in all of us. It's very simple. This is what I believe, and I'm willing to die for it.
I feel so strongly that the reason I'm here is I dream big dreams. I dream the kind of dreams that other people said would not be possible. I'm also living proof. This isn't a Hollywood movie. I come literally from the other side of the tracks. If you saw where I grew up and we took a picture of it, the neighborhood, the setting, you'd say it's impossible that someone could come from there and get here. You can do anything. But there will be people along the way who will say to you, you know, you're dreaming too big. It's not possible. Those things just can't happen. Don't allow anyone, friend, family, acquaintance, teachers, whoever it is, don't allow anyone to tell you that what you are dreaming for yourself and your family is not possible. It is possible. Don't be one of those people 20 years from now are going to be walking around in a 9-to-5 job, miserable and angry and bitter because you let your dreams get away from you because you did not believe strong enough in yourself and what was possible. Don't allow that to happen. This is an unbelievable time. And I can't encourage you enough to continue to think that things are possible and that your dreams can come true.
Failure is maybe when, at least I feel like I failed when I didn't put everything I had into a problem. So really, it goes back to the analogy I made at the beginning, is if you don't put it all out there, if you don't put everything you got into solving the problem, then that's failure.
So you have to learn from the mistakes that you make, and you've got to create an environment where people are not afraid to take a risk and not afraid to do things that are beyond what the expectations are.
Fear is the disease. Hustle is the antidote. You can't count on sales. You can't count on anything but just crazy hustle and just grit your teeth, claw your way to success. There was just no easy way to do it. In order to be this disruptive to what's going on, you have to be willing to fight. And you have to not be, you can't be shy.
Never stop until you're the best. Like, I don't believe in doing anything halfway. I believe in going all the way. You never stop.
I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to fall over, make a mistake. That oftentimes cripples people on the onset of getting into anything. The first time I ever picked up the DJ decks was horrible now, but I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of that feeling. It actually propels me, it works quite the opposite. I can do 18, 22 hours a day easily. I'm a veteran at being able to look at an opportunity and go, is that going to take me further or not? Some people don't have that. You won't. It's something you develop. You know, that's why most times out of 10, any head of a company has been doing it for a long time, because they inherently can make a decision in the blink of an eye. But you have to learn that. My breakthrough was actually deciding I wanted to be an actor. The other thing that's important, I think, is to keep your head down. You know, keep your head down. Like when I swim 25 laps, guaranteed if I look up and start counting those laps, I'm petered out by 15. If I put my head down and keep working away and work at technique, work at internal rhythm, work at, I hit that length, I don't even know what length I'm on, guarantee you I'll look up and it'll be 20 and 3 more to go. I think people find themselves incrementally checking how far they've gone. And that, you know, when you compare it to anybody else or whatever, it's just it's a recipe for disaster. Just keep banging on, you know, that's the most important. Mountain climbers will probably tell you the same thing, you know, there's no point looking. The difference between climbing 100 feet and climbing 500 feet is a point of view. You won't know you're at the top until you get there, pal. And that's what you need to remember. Just don't look down. It changed my life. It turned my dreams into a reality. It gave me an actual, tangible target to go, oh, actually, I could do this. That was my biggest breakthrough. Of course, there have been numerous breakthroughs over my career and my life, which I'm all proud of, but none so much as that realization that I want to be an actor. Know what your target is. Don't guess it. Be as clued up as the next man, because that's your petrol. That's your fuel to get you moving. If you don't know where you're going, what your targets are, you're never going to get there. Period. Work hard, sleep less.
Why do you want to work out? What is your goal? The most important thing is that you have a vision, that you have a goal. Because without that vision and without that goal, again, you're drifting around and you're never going to end up anywhere. people don't become successful just by accident. You know, I mean, maybe the guy that found gold in California and started the gold rush, but don't count on that. That's the one in a lifetime kind of a situation. So you got to really have a specific goal. And to me, to have that vision that I want to be Mr. Universe, that I want to be the greatest bodybuilder of all time. That was a great vision, and that specifically to look like Reg Park and to be up there on that stage and to lift the trophy overhead and to win the championship over and over and over again. So that was a great goal. You have to have a goal. Now, it doesn't have to be that specific goal, but it has to have some goal. This is why I always recommend to people, sit down, take your time, and start thinking about, why do you want to work out? What is your goal? And that can be as crazy as it is. It could be, you know, I want to impress girls. If that's your goal, so be it, but it motivates you. It could be that you're emulating a certain, you know, bodybuilder or a certain football player, a certain boxer, whatever it is. Have those pictures put all over the wall like I did when I was a kid. I put pictures of Reg Park and of Sonny Liston, of boxers and of Ali and of powerlifters and weightlifters all over my bedroom, you know, wall. So that every day when I go to sleep, every day when I wake up, I look at those pictures and they motivate me. You need that motivation, and then therefore you have this kind of imprint in front of you all the time, and you know exactly what you're chasing. People always come up to me and says, why are you smiling? You're working out 5 hours a day. You're doing the same as the other guys, but the other guys have a sour face. They're pissed off that they have to do another rep or another set or something. I looked forward to another 1,000 reps of sit-ups. I looked forward to another 500 pounds of leg press or squat. I looked forward to doing more and more curls until my arms fall off. Why? Because I knew that every rep that I did and every set that I did and more weights that I lifted, I get one step closer to turning that vision into reality. So I was turned on by that. I was excited. I couldn't wait to get to the gym. I remember that when I weighed 245 pounds, and Bob Rafelson, the director of Stay Hungry, said to me that I'm interested in having you come in for a reading and work on your acting and all this, because I'm interested in having you in a movie to star with Jeff Bridges and with Sally Fields. I was delighted about that, and I was excited, and I started pumping up more and more. And then he said, but I don't want you to weigh more than 210 pounds. You want me to be in the movie, but I'm weighing 245, 246. I say, I just won the Olympia, I say, which was 1974, and I was really at my biggest. And but he demanded that, and he says, look, it's very simple. On the day we start shooting, he says, I'm gonna put you on a scale, and if you don't make the 210, you're out, because I have someone else in mind. And I worked on it. I started visualizing myself very clearly as a lean athlete, because that's the only way I could lose that weight and all of a sudden get interested in running more, because up until that point I ran like 3 miles after training or before training or whatever, but now all of a sudden it was 5 miles, 6 miles, 7 miles, 8 miles, and they even ran mini marathons in order to lose the weight, and I did everything with high reps, and I was watching my diet, what I eat and all those kind of things. But the day before, I remember we were in Birmingham, Alabama. The day before I was at the YMCA with Bob Rafelson. He was swimming and I was working out and I was running. There was a track there and I was running. He says, let's step on the scale. And I stepped on the scale and I weighed 209. So it just shows you what is possible if you visualize exactly what you want to look like. And there was no room for any kind of like, well, I can't get my act together or anything like this, because there's only a certain amount of time. But the key thing again is have the clear vision. Have the specific goal of what you want to accomplish, because then you never go to the gym and you say, the day I feel down a little bit, I don't know what it is all about. I don't know my life, I'm confused. No, I tell you that I was a perfect example of someone that was not confident at all. I mean, when I was a kid, I was just like any other kid. I had my hang-ups and problems and all this. But when I joined the weightlifting club and I won my first little trophy because I did the best clean and jerk, and then we went to another meet and I won another little trophy, I started feeling like somebody. But the bottom line is, everyone can use the same method because I used it in politics, I used it in making money, I used it in everything that I've done in the movie business. When you have one little victory, little victories add up, and that is what gives you then ultimately confidence. Well, for me, the most important thing always to have a deadline. So when I, for instance, had a competition, and let's say the competition was in the middle of September, and it was now beginning of summer, so there was no more time to screw around. So there was the time now to get going on a diet, to get going with the training, to not slack off at all, because there was a deadline there. The day of the competition, I had to be in the best shape possible. And I knew that if I come to the competition and I lose because I did not schedule my training the proper way, or I didn't have the right frame of mind, or I didn't give everything, literally worked my butt off, I would be just so angry. So I never wanted to be in that situation. So this is why it was very important to pick that time and to say, this is when I have to be in top shape, and then I work towards that. But it's not just with the competition. I mean, it's the same in the movie business. I mean, to me, it was always a big advantage when I said, okay, my movie starts on April 1, and I have now 3 months, so I have to get really in great shape. So you pick those times. It could also be that you have no movie, and you have no Mr. Olympia, or no Mr. America, no Mr. Universe coming up, or any of those things. But you say to yourself, the summer starts in June. I'm gonna go to the beach in June, and at that time, I want to be in great shape. So that creates an urgency that makes you really start training hard and taking it seriously. Because if you don't have a specific plan, then you wander around. I mean, you can have, as I've told you many times, the best ship or the best plane in the world, but if you don't have a specific goal where you want to go and when you want to get there, you just drift around and you never get anywhere. So this is why it is so important to create that urgency and have a specific time when you want to be in shape. Well, I mean, look, everyone has a problem with time. But the day has 24 hours, and we sleep 6. Now, I know there's some out there that say, whoa, I need 8. Well, I say just sleep a little faster. Because the bottom line is we have 6 hours of sleep, 24 hours are available, so you have 18 hours now available to your work, your family, your hobbies, and also to learn something new or to do something new, which could easily be that you want to learn a new language, or that you want to read as a New Year's resolution, I have to read a book every week, or you say, I'm gonna go and reshape my body. So you're gonna go and take this hour out of your schedule and say, I'm gonna train an hour every day. So this is, for most people, a huge challenge, but it is totally doable, I can tell them, because the kind of things that I did when I came to this country, I mean, I went to school, I was working in construction, I was working out my 5 hours a day, I was taking acting classes from 8 o'clock at night to 12 midnight, I was doing all of those things. I wanted to make sure that out of the 24 hours of the day, that I don't waste one single hour. Those hours were too precious. And so there I just want to tell people, don't give me this thing, I have a difficult time with the time and I don't have time for this and I don't have that. You have time, you make the time.
I'm not done by any stretch of the imagination. I'll handle this loss like a champion. I will not shy away from it. I will not make excuses to it. I lost in there. There was errors, but errors can be fixed if you face them head on and fix them, and that's it. I will celebrate this like you should. You should celebrate all adversity because it makes you grow and it makes you stronger. So what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and this is something that will make me stronger. We can either run from adversity or we can face our adversity head on and conquer it, and that's what I plan to do. I'll face it, I'll take it on the chin, and I'll carry on. I'll learn. I truly believe we are all equal as human beings. If we are obsessed with something and we truly pursue our passion with everything we have, regardless of anything else, if you are obsessed, work hard, put in the time, you will succeed. And that is a philosophy that I carry, my coaches carry, and this is hard work. This is an obsession. Nothing can beat hard work. I took a chance, it didn't pay off, I'll be back.
I will be where I want to be. I'm 100% confident that I will make it to the top. I have the skills, I have the dedication. It will happen, and I'll let you know when it happens. I'm an up-and-coming fighter, and without a doubt you will see me on the UFC in the near future, without a doubt.
When the history books are written, I show up. If we are obsessed with something and we truly pursue our passion with everything we have, regardless of anything else, if you are obsessed, work hard, put in the time, you will succeed. And that is a philosophy that I carry, my coaches carry, and this is hard work. This is an obsession. Nothing can beat hard work.
If you don't know, now you know. It's true. Your friends, family, and loved ones will be the first ones to try and talk you out of greatness. When you're ready to do something and try something new that's out of your comfort zone, that's out of your norm, it's always the one you're dating, the one you're married to, the one that's in your family, your friends in your immediate circle, that will always try and talk you out of doing something special and significant. Walk into bold and uncomfortable doors without having fear and rejection, without having fear of the word no. Do you know how many people have had visions, ideas, and huge career moves that they were about to make, and they allowed the word no to stop them from changing the landscape of their life and their family lives? So many people are afraid of rejection and the word no. It is the saddest shit I've ever witnessed in my life. So I no longer have fear of rejection. I no longer have fear of the word no. I no longer give power to the word no. I could care less about you rejecting me, disowning me, me having visions and ideas and you not seeing what I see. I see what's not there. Only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible. I see what's not there. I have visions. My visions are bold and unapologetic. Boldly walk into the room with your head held up high. And if they don't get it, laugh about it. Don't disown your ideas because they're disowning your ideas. Don't lose confidence in your ideas because they don't have confidence in your ideas. You got gifts, you got talents, you got capabilities, you got inventions, you got phone apps, you got all of these things that you need to unleash on the world. You don't have money, you may not have the financial resources, but don't allow your visions and ideas to be stifled because of what's in your bank account or not. When you have visions and ideas, you do any means necessary to get a hold of the investors and the people with all the money in the world who don't have your ideas to see to it that your ideas come to life. I am so proud of you already, because only a chosen few will hear this message, and you're going to reactivate the beast inside of you and move on those visions, ideas, and inventions. I'm proud of you. I'm celebrating your success already.
What is the secret of achieving goals? How do you really quantitate it? How do you put it down so every day you know if you're going in that direction of success or maybe you're altered? And people are like, man, is it your genetics? Is it your potential? Is it, when it comes down to it, success has nothing to do with potential. It's all about the perseverance of somebody. That will override any endeavor. If you throw shit against the wall, eventually something will stick. You guys that have this potential, don't have this potential, that shit dies. What continues to last forever is a perseverance to always show up. That's what champions do. Every single champion is the same as every ordinary person. The only differential is that they show up to the event every single day. They see failure as a learning curve. They welcome failure. You learn more from failure than you ever will from success. So showing up and getting knocked on your ass, finding tests before you stand back up and re-face that endeavor is going to be the overriding factor that makes a difference. How do you know when you're doing those things? The small things in life add up to those big monumental things. When I say the small things, it's a character building block. That your name means something. You hold value to your name. If you drop trash on the ground, you pick it up because that's your responsibility. You hold value to yourself. When you shake someone's hand, you look them in the eye, you give them a firm handshake because you're here for a purpose. Everything you do to the best of your ability. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It's the fact that you're doing it, so therefore it means something to you. That's going to build a legacy. The title out there doesn't mean shit. You win the title, fine. That title will not get you another title. What you're trying to build is a legacy. Footprints behind you that are left for motivation for someone else to follow. Legacy is built daily through the character, through the willpower, the code of conduct within somebody. And that's the perseverance, showing up every single day. That will always achieve your goal. It doesn't matter what you're born with. It doesn't matter your potential, how much, the silver spoon of money you have. All of that can be attained if you show up and you're willing to risk failure for success.
I want to introduce y'all to this very simple concept. That if you want it, you got to go get it. Some of y'all got this concept of what you want to accomplish. Some of y'all are motivated by broke. I'm broke, I'm stuck, I'm fucked up, I can't do nothing. Some of y'all are motivated by just wanting to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. Other folks are motivated by materialistic things. It's a very simple concept. If you want it, you gotta go get it. And what does that mean? It means that you trying to convince me or anybody else that you want to get it when you partying all week. As soon as you get any kind of money, you buying a bunch of shit that you really can't afford. What you got the latest iPhone for? See, everything about what you're doing and the moves that you're making is getting in the way of the big picture. Everything. You still clubbing, you still partying, you still popping bottles with models. You doing the most already, and you ain't even on. You trying to convince everybody around you that you on, but you not on. You know the truth, and I know the truth. You ain't on. Most of the people who really ain't got it, they go out of their way to try and show people that they have it. time to stay focused. It's time to decide, fuck clubs, fuck partying, fuck trying to fit in and socialize, rub elbows with everybody so people can stop calling you weird. Why are you so antisocial? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you staying on the basketball court so much? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you out there practicing in the hot sun when ain't nobody else out there? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you not clubbing? Like every time I text you and invite you to go do something fun and cool, you always studying? Because I'm trying to get it. Let me tell you something, homie. The more weird you are is a reflection of how committed you are to focusing on your shit, molding and shaping and developing your ideas and your craft so that when it's time for you to make your rounds, you gonna fly. You still got work to do. Stay on that basketball court. Stay on that football field. Fuck all the homies texting and calling and trying to make you feel bad about being so focused. It's grind season, homie. It's not about today. It's about the future. You do the work now. Do the work now. And all of the shit that you could ever want to do for your family, your kids, your loved ones, it's all going to be on a whole nother stratosphere. It's time to stay focused, man. This is what I hope. I hope this video makes you uncomfortable. Because I look at this as a mirror. You get to look yourself in the mirror and ask hard and tough questions. What am I doing every single day with my life? Creating obstacles, challenges, and distractions for myself. I am so proud of you already, because only a chosen few will hear this message, and you're gonna reactivate the beast inside of you and move on those visions, ideas, and inventions. I'm proud of you. I'm celebrating your success already.